Welcome to the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report, the only show that provides you with the best insight and information to everything Franklin County sports. And now here's your host, Bobby C.
Hello and welcome to the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report. I'm Bobby C. Want to welcome you here today. This is probably one of the most exciting shows that I've been able to do in my 3 years that I've been doing this. And it's because of the fact that I get a chance to interview two guys that are pretty special in my life, my nephew Hunter and my nephew Ryan. And these two guys have been able to make a difference in their community, also to their schools and to their teams. And we're going to talk with them about their long history that they've had with sports in the area and the game plan as they both get ready for college. And we do want to just say thank you to our underwriters here today, the Four Leaf Clover Restaurant in Berniston, also by Denny's Pantry, Berniston Road in Greenfield, Sean Hubert in Hubie's Tavern and Restaurant, Avenue A in Turners Falls, and by Lisa Albert of Albert Hearing Services, 33 Riddell Street in Greenfield. Thanks again to Philippe Simone and John Meisner. They are our producers of our show each and every week. And of course, we do it here on GCTV, the FCAT down in South Deerfield, and MCTV in Turners Falls. Well, why don't we get started? Boys, how are you?
Good, good. Hanging in there.
Hey, well, how's it feel to finally wrap up your high school career? Bittersweet? Where we at, Hunter?
It's exciting. I'm already making memories of this summer, trying to enjoy the last bit of Greenfield I can. It's definitely something different. As a little kid, you dream about graduating and finally being done, but now that it's here, it's kind of shocking, like what's next type of deal. But
it's always tough. And Ryan, you are one of those kids who's pretty passive, laid back kind of guys. And I say to myself, what's this guy going to do this summer? So what's your game plan now that you've wind things down a little bit?
It's pretty much the same old thing. It doesn't feel like much has changed since high school's ended. It's only been like a couple weeks now. I just plan on chilling with my friends for the rest of the summer, making the best of it, and heading off to GCC.
Yep. So you're going to GCC, and you're going to Colby Sawyer. You got your shirt on there.
Yeah.
And, I think it's great because both of you guys we talked about this on my Bobby's World column about different paths that kids take when they graduate high school,
Yeah.
Back in my day, it was a little different, though, because back then, a lot of blue-collar workers back in the 80s, and a lot of people had a game plan, and a lot of them went into factories and things like that. But I decided, as you guys know, to get into the radio business, and I was able to get some experience to do that. A little bit different now. We're in a big technical world now, and
sure.
You guys are in a situation now where things are a lot different. And I think the opportunities are slim compared to when it was
Definitely.
in the 80s, guys,
Definitely.
So you have to have a goal of some kind of path that you want to take that's hopefully going to get you to be able to at least land a decent job,
Yeah.
And in your case, you decided that you wanted to get into some sports management type stuff so that you can be able to learn some experience in that field. Well, with all the experience you got in sports and the contacts you've been able to get, this is a good opportunity for you, Hunter.
Definitely. It's something sports has taught me so much over the years, the highs and lows of life. I feel like sports has always been the answer for me no matter what. And, I helped Jackson with his Cal Ripken team, and just to see the way the young kids really look up to an older person around a simple game of baseball, it just really inspired me to pursue that in the future. So.
When you look at Ryan, the same thing for you is, you've been around the sports field, and everything you've done has been sports pretty much as your whole life as well, like him. And, you have a different path. It's funny because I look at both of you guys, and you guys are really different in a lot of ways, but you guys are still a lot alike in a lot of ways, too. And what I mean by that is like Ryan, dedicated to a soccer field and, really put a lot into that. In 1 year, you decided to take a what they call a different tour, as they say, and decided to play a year of football. And I just want to say, Hunter, he really did good, man.
He was good. I mean, I used to try to go to all his games, even when I had games. I remember there was one time we had a 6 o'clock game, and I didn't even stay after. I changed and I zooted over to Turners to watch this kid play. And I think he might have scored your first touchdown of the season.
I'm not sure what game was that.
I think he was at Pioneer or
Yep.
something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So I just it's incredible to see this kid just pick up any ball and be good at that sport. It's insane.
And that's the thing. And both you guys are like that, though. Both you guys can be able to adapt. You in middle school gave soccer a shot, and you thought it was pretty fun. And then you got into football, and you continued to do that.
Yeah.
But this guy, he's definitely been a soccer player ever since we saw him as a little guy. And he just knew how to run up and down the court. He's great with footwork and
insane.
I look at what you guys have been able to do, and it just amazes me on how well you guys have been able to just excel at everything you guys do. And I want people to know that Ryan and Hunter are also honor students too. These guys don't just, do well on a sports field. They really take the classroom pretty serious too. Ryan, let's talk a little bit about what it's like to be able to get through a day on a soccer field, something that Uncle Bob would never have done. So what is it like for you when you get ready and prep for a game? Just so people can get an idea.
You really gotta prep yourself and make sure you're not exerting all your energy on one play. You need to be able to run up and down that field, I don't even know, 20, 30 times a game, maybe a half. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And you got to keep yourself hydrated too, don't you, throughout the game? Because I imagine it must take a lot out if you don't.
If it's the games right in the beginning of the season, beginning of September, are usually pretty crucial or gruesome because the heat and the humidity at that time of year is it's not
tough.
Fun.
No, it's not. And then you got to make sure you make the adjustments when it gets really cold if you're playing on a day in late October, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's sort of the same thing. I mean, it can
for sure.
really,
Have your hat on.
Yes. Yeah. It can be really chilly. And what's it like when you got a cold day and you're heading balls and stuff? Does that not bother you at all or anything?
Oh no, I had a couple headers this season. Yeah, goals, probably 4 of them were headers.
Yeah.
I do it no matter what.
You love the headers. All right. He loves the headers, man. Hey, when you were able to play soccer, I remember back in middle school, you were a goalie, if I remember correctly,
sophomore
right?
year too.
Yeah,
I got to play.
In sophomore year, yeah.
But it's fun. It's a fun time. It's a great sport. I mean, I was a goalie, so I didn't have to do all the running. It probably saved me a bit.
Yep.
But I just remember, as it got colder, you can definitely tell. I mean, kicking the ball didn't go as far. Everything was harder, and so a lot of props to him for using his whole body all season. That's tough.
He really is good at it. He really is. Hunter, you got good hands, good receiver. You're also tall and a good target. Yeah. And I think that when you were playing football for Greenfield High School, the one thing that I will say is you had a quarterback who, personally, I think could have done a lot more because of the weapons that he had with you and Nooney. And, there could have been a lot more balls that could have been thrown. But it was tough because you also had a running back who was running for over 1,000 yards. And how about 2,000 yards last year?
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like when you know that this guy's going to get the ball pretty much almost 90% of the time when you're on the football field on the offensive end?
Well, I feel like there's 2 different ways kids nowadays could take it. Kids could either get mad or kids can buy in. And, I'm not going to lie, there was definitely games where I felt like me and the receiving, my teammates thought we should have got the ball more. But at the end of the day, you just got to trust your teammates and trust your coach. And I think once we all bought in and, you started to see some downfield blocks for RJ, and it made the game a lot more exciting. So it's just a matter of, just being a good teammate, buying in, and just really adapting to the offensive scheme we had going on. And, RJ ended up getting 2,000 yards, and that's just a testament to not only him, but the rest of the team as well.
That's my point right there. It's a testament to your team. And you have to look at Turner's, too. When you're able to have Wyatt Keith do the same thing, it's a testament to both teams to be able to do a good job at what they do.
That kid's phenomenal. I remember tackling him on Turkey Day, and I think it hurt me more than it hurt him. And he's a workhorse, and, big props to him for reaching 2,000. That's amazing.
And it's funny because the kid is not even playing any sports. He's literally going to just move on to become a therapist, and it's not about that with him. He just has a goal of what he wants to do in college, but he's not going to play football. Kid's 2,000-yard scorer and is not even going to play football. He just has other things that he's looking forward to doing in his life, and I'm so good with whatever he wants to do because he's such a great kid.
He is a great kid, and he works hard. I know he'll be successful whenever he chooses, for sure.
Exactly. I look back and I see that, when you and I when you two guys and I had a chance to spend some time together in Little League, and we had a chance to win a championship, and we had a chance to really do some cool things as a family, you know, with your dad and me, and it was our Campbell crew, and winning a championship and having some fun. I look back at the athletes we had: Garrett Cody, great athlete out of Pioneer; Xavier Santiago, really good, you know, athlete out of Frontier. And you guys, I mean, we had some really, really good kids. And, you know, I look back now and I just can't believe you guys are all grown up, man. X-Man, you know, 6'5", huge, big boy now, you know, solid, still throws hard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, I look at Ryan throwing people out from left field at home plate on a big diamond. I mean, making catches, diving catches, rolling over, robbing home runs. This guy's crazy. Hunter, the stretches you make at first base, and the ball is usually always in your glove, and the way you've been hitting, I mean, damn, you guys are good, man. And we don't have to say anything more about Garrett Cody, man.
Oh,
no, that
phenomenal,
kid is just,
I love that kid.
The kid's got a lot of energy, and he's just something else, too. Yeah. So we look at where we all got started as where you guys were young kids, and we were all with you, and we all went together with this ride, all of us.
Definitely.
And today, we get to sit here on Uncle Bob's show and be able to talk about where it all began, man. You know, we had that journey that was back in GMLB, and you guys went your own little way. Ryan went to the soccer field. You did some football. Then, of course, it was basketball, and then Ryan decided to come back. Ryan, by the way, great basketball season this year, man.
Thanks.
Great D, great defense, man. Tenacious D. And this guy is so fast, you know?
Yeah, I had to guard him. It was tough.
He's so fast,
tough.
you know? And then you got guys like Hunter who just sort of take control, you know? Like, listen, if you need a guy who can take control, this guy could take control for you, you know? It's weird because he's a big guy. And you think, oh, he can't dribble a ball. This guy can dribble a ball, man. He can dribble a ball pretty good. You know, you look at a guy his height and you're like, oh, he can't dribble. Yeah, you can, man.
Appreciate it.
You know? And I look at the way you guys played baseball this year, 2 All-Stars. I said again, folks, 2 All-Stars right here in baseball. They both deserve it, too. They both had phenomenal years this year in baseball. And I got to be honest, I was sad when it ended because I had a chance to really enjoy both of you. And it was a lot of fun, especially near the end of the year. I know that Ryan, on one hand, is probably saying it was a little bit rough at the end of the year. They really took a tough skid. But in your case, you guys went on like a 9-10 game winning streak. And, you know, but you faced a very good Southwick team, and I will tell you something.
They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal.
Southwick was a good team. They lost to a good team. You know, and Philippe and I and John, we were there. We had a chance to be able to be a part of all that. It was really, really tough. So let's talk about that series of the long journey to get into playoffs, knowing that you went in with a winning streak that you knew it was going to either end as a huge winning streak with a championship, or it was going to end with a loss. That's always the hard part about going in with a big winning streak going into playoffs. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it all started after the loss to Hopkins on a walk-off. Actually, the last play of the game, we lost one of our teammates, and he ended up not being able to play the rest of the season in Carlos. And we all kind of gathered around that. You know, it wasn't like we had an easy game after that. We started this streak with Frontier, and I just think the way we all kind of connected and we came back to beat Frontier on a walk-off, that just sparked something. And sports are weird like that. You know, once something gets going, you never want it to end. And I think we really started to believe in one another and just started to play our best baseball at the right time. You know, we rode pretty high into playoffs. We were a little disappointed that we went 15-5 and got the 4 seed, so we kind of had a chip on our shoulder. Game 1, we came out, I think we won by like 10 or 11 runs versus Mahar, so we were fired up, but we knew what we were getting ourselves into with Southwick. I mean, they're a phenomenal team. I played with half their kids in the Bay State games, so I knew they could play. And you know, just seeing it end like that wasn't what we expected. But that just goes out to Southwick. They're a great team, and you know, when you score early on Green Wave, either we can come back and win it, or it's just going to go the wrong way. And I feel like we just kind of sat back on our heels and didn't give it our best go. But that's sports, and that's how we went out. So, but it was definitely a fun time and something I'll never forget for sure.
Absolutely. Ryan, it's funny because they ended up losing to Hopkins. you saved the day against Hopkins, and you guys pulled off a huge win at home against Hopkins. That was a big win, man.
That was the playoff clinching win.
Yep. That was a big win for you guys. Huge. And Ryan, you robbed the home run, man.
Yeah.
You robbed the home run. You went over the fence, dude. How did it feel that day? Dive and catch. You ended up. Would you have 3 hits that day against them as well? You had everything that could ever go perfect for a kid. It was against Hopkins that day.
It felt good because Hopkins, I believe, they ended up winning the Western Mass Championship this year.
They did win. Yes, they did. Yeah.
So to do that against that team felt pretty good.
Yeah, you guys definitely gave them a great game at home that night. And it was great because we ended up doing that game on the radio. And we did that Frontier game too.
Yeah.
It was great because we had a chance to see 2 really great games against 2 really good teams.
Phenomenal teams.
So that was really great to be able to be a part of both those as well. I'm going to tell you though, Ryan, coaches were afraid to run on you, man. If there was a hit to left field, coaches started to hear about Ryan Campbell's arm from Turner's. I mean, I just want you to know that the word was out there about you. And if you noticed, a lot of those teammates were sitting there, rooting on Campbell because they knew Campbell can be able to snag down a ball anywhere. But what made it a little bit tough, and I want to know, honestly, what this did to you. You got into a situation at the end of the year where you lost a guy that was a real big help to you with the center fielder in Jaden Whiting. When he ended up having to leave center field and they had to make some adjustments, were you any way disappointed that you had to move your position that you've been playing forever and left to have to do a little bit of center field action?
I kind of missed left field as soon as I moved into center field for the 2 games, I believe.
Yes, it was a couple games.
It wasn't for that long because, I don't know, the coaches ended up wanting to move me back to left field where I feel like I had a better chance to gun people down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been a little bit tough because you were always playing, it's like right now, Hunter, you're playing with the Legion team and now you're doing right field, but you've been playing first base forever. I mean, you had to make an adjustment yourself.
For sure, yeah. It's definitely, it's just part of being an athlete, especially on these summer all-star teams. There's kids that can play anywhere and excel. So, just having to adapt is definitely different. I've never had to run for a ball or throw a ball to the cutoff man. I was the cutoff man.
You were the cutoff man, that's right.
So it's definitely different, but it's just, playing with kids that are competitive like I am, it's just a fun time. So.
That's right. And and that's the thing that you're going to see later in life too, is when you go into college and you start playing against other kids from other areas, but you're all playing for a college, like you will be with Colby Sawyer coming up in the spring, you're going to notice even in the fall when you start fall ball up there that you're going to get an idea of where everything goes and where everything stands for the athletes that you're going to be playing with.
Oh yeah, we got kids from all over New England, we got kids from down south, so just learning their different styles of baseball, because baseball up here is totally different. We get to play for only a short amount of time a year, and kids have different skill sets, and playing with kids down south that play year round, it's going to be different for sure, different terminology and stuff like that. So just learning the guys and learning how the game's played as we all come together, it'll definitely be a fun time.
Absolutely. Hey, are you doing any soccer at all? Will you be playing any men's league over at Indoor Action or anything like that to keep yourself going?
I'll definitely consider it because I'm gonna miss it, and I need to stay in shape,
So that's gonna be something that you're thinking about wanting to be able to do maybe 1 or 2 nights a week, maybe if you have time.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be good. Yeah, I think that you'll enjoy that, Ryan, because I know it's something that, like you said, it's a passion. You're gonna miss it,
Yeah.
And in this guy's case, he's going to get right into school, and then you guys have fall ball, correct?
Yeah, we start fall ball, I think, 3 days after the first day of classes. So
that's what I thought.
Not much time to get prepared for it, but
that's the big difference about playing college ball is people don't realize that everything does start right away. It's not, just because this guy's playing a spring sport, they start their first season, which is fall ball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, workout routines all.
Oh yeah, double sessions. You better get used to it. I used to think Coach Shushnik had long practices because we'd be there till 6, but that's nothing now. That's nothing now.
Yeah, it's all about double sessions, man.
Oh yeah.
I also wanted to say that you guys do wonderful things in the classroom, and I just want to say that's important to me. I'll tell you why, because I wasn't a good student, and I'm glad I found what I love to do because I was really nervous that I wasn't going to be happy in my life because I didn't do well in school. But I look back today and I'm so glad that I put every bit of effort into my career. because you guys have been able to do so well in the classroom, honor students and taking it seriously, and to be able to play sports each and every day, and to be able to make a commitment to a team, make a commitment to your community, make a commitment to your school and to yourselves. That is a huge testament of the two guys that you guys are.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I'm very proud of both of you for that. And that's why I'm not worried about you guys at all on whatever you guys do, because you guys got the focused mind of what you guys want out of life. I got to be honest with you, I knew what I wanted, I just didn't know if I could get it. And luckily enough, I was lucky enough to get that internship that I got, just like what you're doing right now, Hunter. And we could talk about that for a second. Hunter is now taking on an internship with the Valley Blue Sox down in Holyoke. And a nice experience for him, especially with what he wants to do in his career. And it's great because a connection there is perfect, because you've been friends with the Siago family for a long time, and Freddie, as the owner, was able to give you this opportunity to be able to get some experience. Let's talk about your experience with this so far. And I know it's very new, only in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've done it for a few weeks now, and you know, being an athlete in high school, I feel like a lot of the things that the coaches do go unnoticed. You know, they're coaches, but they're also doing the fields, making phone calls, getting information, preparing the whole entire organization to go out there and beat the other school. And I think that's the things that kids miss out on, is we don't get to see the big picture. So being an intern for the Valley Blue Sox, I really get to see the process of what goes into actually like just to one game and to practice and all that. And, you know, getting there 3 hours before the team does, getting the field ready, you know, greeting the players with a smile on your face, making them feel welcome, and just helping out all the fans and just really connecting on the fan base and the whole organization is something I feel like I kind of wish I realized at a younger age, because, you know, it really makes me miss high school already, you know what I mean? It's making me realize all the stuff my coaches really did do for me in the program, and something that I hope to just keep working at and doing in the future, because it's a great time.
What a great experience it is, and really right in the field where you want to be in too.
For sure.
So this is like perfect for you. Now, Ryan, you have a job that you have for the summer, and I know that you got plans on what you want to be able to do in the fall. You're going to go to GCC. And what is your what are you looking to be able to try to do? Are you looking to be able to do the 2-year plan and then maybe transfer somewhere else, or just sort of seeing where you want to go with this?
That is the plan for now. It's 2 years at GCC and then transfer to another state school, possibly UMass. If I get a 3.0 GPA, I believe I can automatically transfer into UMass. And with a 3.5 GPA, I get like money off.
Wonderful. So little incentive, as they say.
Yeah,
a little incentive plan for you. So saying, hey, listen, go there, do a great job, do everything you can, get that 2-year stepping stone. People don't realize we have a wonderful college in Greenfield. GCC is fantastic. Dual enrollment, let's talk about that role there, mister. How was that? Being in a school for your senior year, playing all these sports, but how many times did you see kids that you played with besides over at practice? Not many.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Yeah, I didn't.
Exactly.
And it took its toll on me, you know, being in high school. The best part of high school is seeing your buddies, you know what I mean? Instead of being with my buddies, I was in a college. It's a great campus, but I was the youngest kid by far. So it was definitely, you know, different. You know, one of my partners for English project was like a 35-year-old man. Great guy, but it was just so different because the vocabulary and the way we connected wasn't like me and my buddies back in high school.
Sure, not at all.
So, you know, seeing my buddies for sports practice, it was definitely just like being a kid again. And it allowed me to kind of have that nice medium between actually schoolwork and just being a kid again. So it was a lot of fun.
Do you think that it was definitely worth the opportunity to get into the dual enrollment program?
By far. I mean, next year at Colby Sawyer, I will only have to take 3 classes in the second semester, so I really get to focus on my freshman year of baseball as well. And I just definitely recommend it because it definitely helps you mature as a person and as a kid, and it helps you see the big picture. And they definitely, you know, if you go into it not knowing what your future holds, you'll have a picture of what you want to do when you come out of there for sure.
That's huge, man. That is huge. I like the idea with him, too, where he's taking advantage of our college and being able to get that stepping stone of the 2-year program. Then he has an idea after 2 years of where he wants to go. I know a lot of kids, they'll go and they'll take on that 4-year college right away. And sometimes they stumble and it ends up turning out to be not so good, you know? So I think that Ryan's making a good decision on that end.
Sure.
You've already done the college thing already. You've already got a year under your belt, really.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that. You got that by doing that dual enrollment program.
Yeah.
So that was a really good opportunity for you to prep yourself to be able to be where you're at right now. And like you said, only 3 classes that need to be taken in the second semester.
Yeah.
So that means while you're playing baseball, you're not going to be stressing out about whether you're going to be able to get all your work done.
Yeah, I'll be worried about what pitch to hit next at bat. So
that's right. You know, I look at what you guys were able to achieve as in the classroom and also on the sports field, but I just want people to know that you guys do community stuff too, and you guys have always cared about making sure that you will help other people. And I look back, and you know, the one difference between you and you is that you're you're really outgoing, man. You're just out there. Ryan's more of a reserved type of guy. But I'll tell you what, though, at the end of the day, you guys are really caring, good people, and I think that you guys have truly been great mentors to your cousins, to your siblings. Kendra absolutely adores you, and your brothers and your sister love you. You have a great relationship with your sister, and she's only a couple years younger than you. You guys have that, and I just think that it's wonderful because the bond that you guys have been able to build within your families has been really special. And I think it's because you guys have been able to understand how important family is. And you know, one thing I can say about our family is that we have a pretty tight family. We all love each other very much.
Definitely.
And we're going to do whatever we can to help each other, you know? But I look back and I say to myself, what better leaders for all of the cousins than these 2 guys right here? And you guys are the start of the new era. You know that? You guys are the start of the new era. Because my kids, as you guys know,
LeBron and Zion.
you know, think about this. You know, you think about this. You got, Jeremiah and Amanda and Ashley, my kids, they're all old. You guys are the new next.
You said it, we didn't.
Hey, it's true.
Ashley, he called you old.
But you guys are the next. You guys are the next now.
Yeah.
So it's you 2, and then it's going to be Haley and Kendra, and then Jackson, and then Toby and Gabe. Yep, it all happens, guys. So you guys are like the start. And what better example to set for these guys than what you 2 have been able to achieve so far? That's why I'm so proud of both of you of what you guys been able to do, because you guys have done it. You've done it well, and you've done it in a way where it wasn't about you. It was about what needs to be done for success in life. You cared about where you guys want to be in life. Now, Ryan, it's funny because Ryan is one of those kids who, when he was younger, I'm like, man, this kid, he's so shy, but he's so talented, man. Wonder if he's ever going to come out of that shell. This guy broke out, man. He broke out, but you knew that.
I knew that. Around me, you never were though. We always had that bond.
Exactly. You guys are brothers, man. I really, we say cousins or whatever, but really, you guys are brothers.
Oh,
and
sure.
and you guys treat each other like brothers, and you guys care about each other like brothers, and you guys really are brothers. And I look back at where I was, and I had a couple friends of mine that I considered them brothers too. And you look back at life right now, and you say to yourselves, look at. Guy's going to Colby Sawyer. He's going to play baseball, do something he loves. He wanted to play baseball since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
When your father was coaching at Frontier, you were there every single day.
I used to get out of school early to go.
Yep. Every day.
Every day.
You have loved baseball ever since you were a little boy. Period.
Yeah.
You ended up finding soccer over in the rec league over in Turner's, and found the love and the passion. And you just went with it, man. And that was been I think that is really, I hate to say this, but I always said soccer was your best sport. Dude, you're a damn good left fielder, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're a damn good left fielder.
He's just a good athlete, man.
You are just really good, man. And I'm sorry, but I watched you play this year, and I think that you're one of the elite outfielders that we had in our area. I really do. I'm not kidding, man. You had a great year. And I'll tell you another kid I like too, and he plays for this team, and he's very young, and he's a center fielder for his team, and David Carey. He is the real deal too, man. That kid can play. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I was able to pick a all-star top 3, you're it. You made it, buddy. You made the top 3 of this area. And I'm not just saying that because I'm your uncle. I'm telling you because I'm a very honest person about what I feel about passionate in sports.
Yes.
And you earned that position to be one of the top 3.
No doubt.
You agree?
No doubt.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
He had a great year.
Yeah.
He really, truthfully did.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you what. You look at all the great athletes that play for some of these teams, and that's why this Legion team's that good, man.
Yeah.
Your team's good because look at the all-star team that he was able to put together.
Oh, it's...
And Kyle Phelps. Wow.
It's truly insane. You know, it's just a big testament to all the programs around here. I mean, the coaches giving their time to teach these kids and the kids buying in, wanting to be better. You know, it's just, we got some kids making some plays I've never seen. Like, it's truly insane. You know, 1 to 9, it's probably batting over 300 right now. Like, just playing with kids that love ball is truly a fun time. So
it's amazing to me how good that team is.
Every program around this area is just
people don't realize Legion is literally all-star baseball for the whole area, period. And then when you go and you watch the districts and then you watch the states and you get into New England, you're talking the best athletes in the area for baseball play in these teams.
Oh yeah, college players.
Absolutely. And what is the cutoff age for American Legion?
19.
It's 19.
This is actually my last year since I'll be turning 19 this year.
Yep.
So I can't play next year, but a couple of the kids that graduated get to go back for an extra year.
And Clute was one of those, right?
Yep, him and Ben Arnold actually.
Him and Ben Arnold were able to play and graduated high school last year, and they were able to come back and play because they qualified for the under 19.
Yep.
All right. So. Now, in your case, do they have any kind of like travel teams or anything for soccer, or they don't do any of that stuff around this area?
I'm really not sure. I remember when I was like a sophomore, my coach was like, sign up for this Maple League. It's like, I wouldn't know, like compare it to Legion. It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like an all-star team with like kids that are really solid at soccer that all come together and play for a team and travel around this area and play. But I don't know at my age if there's anything like that, but I could definitely look.
Because I'm telling you, the guy's so good at soccer, he could definitely take that on.
For sure.
You know, another thing too is I wanted to bring up for you, Ryan, is the fact that, you know, you ended up playing for the Franklin County Tech team that ended up having to merge with Turner's, and you were, of course, with the Turner's guys. I just felt really bad because you guys, because of the way the merge program runs through the state of Massachusetts with the MIAA, that if you end up merging the Tech and Turner's together, they literally consider you for tournament as an upped team. So instead of being Division 4, they had to move up to Division 3 for soccer. Well, the sad thing is, though, is they played a Division 4 schedule. So they end up with this unbelievable record of like 18-2, if I remember correctly, Ryan.
Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close to it, right?
Like 17-3.
And 17-3, 18-2, and they end up going into the Division 3 tournament with that record as the final seed. They literally sort of I'm using this word, I don't mind because it's my show, I guess, but you got screwed. I mean, I'm just being honest. You guys got screwed, you know? And I think what bothered me the most is the fact that you never had a chance to prepare against Belchertown, Frontier,
Yeah, we faced
Wacona.
some huge team in Monument Mountain that and the field was disgusting. It was all mud. You could not get any traction. Every 5 minutes I was kicking off my cleats because there was a bunch of mud on it. It was a disaster.
It was a disaster. And it really was a sad situation for this Tech team who did so well. And these kids worked really, really hard. And, you know, I got to give Coach Richardson and the boys so much credit for the hard work that they put in because they really did turn that program around with having Turner's kids come to help. They really did. And it worked for both schools. And they were able to build some friendships amongst each other as being at different schools as well, which I think is really cool too. But that seeding, when I went in the fall and I saw that, I was just... First of all, I thought it was a misprint. And I'm being honest, guys, I really thought that there was a misprint on the website. I'm like, how the hell can you be 17-3 and be a 13 seed or some damn thing? I'm like, there's no way. There is just no way. And it happened.
Yeah.
And these poor guys, they just, like you said, it was on a rotten field. It was muddy. I think the final score was, what, 7-0 or something? 7-1.
Yeah, it was
it was a tough night. It was a tough day, period.
But we put most of our energy into our state vocational tournament, where we beat a really solid team. I don't know how we won, but we did. Old Colony. They're like by Cape Cod or something like that. It was ridiculous.
And then you guys ended up playing a wicked good game against that Westfield Voc, right?
Westfield Tech. We faced them in our first game of the season, and we lost like 5-3. And we were disappointed because we didn't have one of our better defenders, and we felt that we could have won that game with him. And then we go into this state final vocational tournament really confident, thinking that we were going to win it. And we went into extra time. It was 1-1 going into extra time. And Edison Ovalle, one of our midfielders, had a shot at the goal and hit the crossbar. And the other team brought it down and scored right on that possession, and the game was over.
Man, another devastating blow, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I was just thinking, though, you guys did so well in your soccer this past year. You know, your basketball team, you know, this is quite a story. You know, you think about this guy's basketball team. Well, I'm going to tell you what, Hunter. Let's put this into perspective for a minute. You guys might have been the spark that made their team get in the tournament. Because you guys had this great hoop game at Turner's Falls between Greenfield and Turner's. It was a great game.
I came off
56, 52, something like that. It was a good game.
64, 60. I think.
Yeah, it was only 4 points. It was a great game. And we were there for that, too. I had a chance to be a part of that game. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it put them in a very tough position. You were 7-6. They were 6-7. So,
I think we were 6-8.
We were 6-8.
Yeah, so we needed to win, going 4-2, I believe.
Yeah, you did.
For our last 6 games.
And you did it, man. You guys, would you go 5-1, or did you guys go all the way out?
I think you went 5-1.
I think we went 5-1 because I think we ended up losing to Frontier or something like that.
Yeah, you did. You guys lost to Frontier.
6-7 towers. Like,
we beat them.
But think about this. Maybe what Greenfield did in that great game to be able to pull that off and to put some pressure on these guys really helped them get in the tournament.
For sure.
Because I was psyched, man. I'm like, wow, Turners, you know, they really came back. I didn't think you guys really had a chance at the way things fell. I'm like, it's going to be tough. But you guys did it.
Yeah, you beat some good teams.
You did.
You beat some good teams.
Yeah, you did. You did beat some good teams. And that was a big thing that you guys did. Hey, going down to Hopkins and being able to beat them in Hopkins, I was there for that game.
At that point, we had like a 20-point lead in the game, and then the little Siago kid, I mean, he's amazing. He's freshman.
He beat me in pickup at his house the other day.
Did he? Oh, he is so good.
Yeah, he just started splashing some threes on us, and then next thing you know, it's like a 6-point game or something like that, and we're on our heels.
Yeah,
but we managed to pull it off.
Yep, that was a big win for you guys. You know, and Hunter, you know, you guys faced a really good hoop team though in the tournament when you guys went in. They came in, and I got to tell you something. I never heard of that school.
Neither have I. I didn't even know.
That school.
Murdoch.
They played Murdoch.
Oh, we played Murdoch.
And I'm going to tell you,
we didn't. Never mind.
They played really well. They did everything right, but their speed really took you guys.
I don't know. I forget their
wheels,
point guard's name.
LJ Hicks.
Oh yeah, it was LJ Hicks.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
LJ Hicks was
I
awesome.
kid you not, he probably had half their points.
He did.
He's phenomenal. They
needed a guy like you, Ryan, to try to
there.
defend a kid like him, because his first step was just way better than anybody from
yeah, and then he would give a jab step and you're moving and he's the other way. It was
in our
talented kid.
Playoff game against Lee, Mullins put me on some 6'4" kid from Lee, and I mean, I did pretty good on him, I thought.
Yeah, you played good D.
Yeah, and you have good ups too. So you have good, you have really good ups as well. So even though you're a smaller guy, you got good ups. So that's huge.
Ryan gets up.
Where even though the guy's 6'4", you know, he's not going to get the extra ups that you're going to get. So hopefully, you know, and you know what? He puts that ball at all on the floor. See ya. You just picked his pocket. Yeah, exactly. You know, the one thing I can't stand, and I used to get on Hunter on this too, and he got so much better as he got older, but I used to tell kids like Hunter, if you're 3 feet away from the basket, put the ball in the hoop. Don't put the ball down on the ground. And you know, a lot of these big guys, they think that they can maybe get 1 or 2 steps closer to the hoop so they can just finger roll it in.
These point guards nowadays.
You're going to steal it, man. guys like you or Garrett Cody, you're going to pick pockets and you're going to run all day, you know?
For sure.
And Hunter, how many steals have you probably had in your high school career for a guy your size? The wingspan that you have and the way that you play defense is pretty impressive to me, man.
Yeah, probably over 100, maybe 150, honestly, in my 4 years.
I believe it. You know, Hunter Campbell steals the ball. Now, I'm used to hearing it for him because he's so quick, you know. I'm used to hearing Ryan doing it. But a guy your size being able to do the defense that you did in hoop was pretty
a lot of kids nowadays want the points or the assists, the flashy pass. But defense is where it's at. I mean, I still have a scar on my head. I don't know if you can see it, but that's from getting an elbow from kids. They were just. I like being that kid that just irritates the other team. So
hey,
it's a fun time.
And that's that little Seattle kid, man.
Oh yeah, he got pretty mad.
There's the kid that can irritate you.
Oh,
you know, he's a kid that can irritate you because he's that good.
He's
you know?
good.
And you know what else too is, you know, when you look at defense. Look at the teams that win championships. It usually comes from defense, guys. It doesn't come from the offensive teams. It usually comes to D.
Yeah, look at that Drury team, that Drury basketball team. Exactly. They played phenomenal.
They're really good.
They held one of the best that was it Slattery kid from where?
He's excellent.
He held him to like under 10, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
And Slattery, and I'll tell you, Slattery played in that All-Star game. Remember remember you guys had your All-Star game?
Yeah, he's a good player.
That kid was quick, man.
He's quick.
What about that kid from NoHo? That kid was fun.
Oh, yeah. He threw down what, 4 or 5 times
4 or
in that
5
game?
dunks. Hey, the kid from Northampton shows up, and he was really good.
I forget his name, but
he was really good,
First play of the game, Angelo was like, Hunter, throw a lob, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then kid just, he got up.
And I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun because it just brought a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. Hey, I wanted to ask you, you both play for Hall of Fame coaches. You've played for Coach Mullins, did a basketball year with him. You with Coach Schuschnigg.
Oh, yeah.
What is it like to be able to play for coaches that are a little more old school than the coaches of today? Because there's a big difference between a 40-year-old coach that's been doing it 40 years and someone who's been doing it for 4 or 5.
Well, I know Mullins wasn't as much of a fan of the three-point ball. He wanted us to get to the hoop, draw that foul, and get to the line.
Amen, man. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's ball.
That is ball, though. You can't rely on that outside shot to be able to go.
I mean, I can't rely on my outside shot.
But isn't that the right way of basketball, though? They put the X there close by for a reason, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot easier to use that box like a Sam Smith when she's right down low where she can use it than the guy who's sitting there at three-point land.
Yeah.
You know? Really?
Yeah.
So they put that box there for a reason. They put it there because they want you to use it. And if you get close enough to the basket for a quality shot, it can be to your benefit.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
And that is why it's there. That's old school basketball. Take it to the hole. There's referees there for a reason. Call fouls. And then they put a free throw line there for a reason, so you can shoot free throws. It's all old school basketball, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay and Mullins always wanted me to drive, and then towards the end of the season, they were trying to get me to shoot, and if I didn't shoot, I'd get taken out of the game because they didn't want me just sitting on the court doing nothing.
Right. Well, you know what it is, Ryan, is that you had other guys who wanted to shoot the ball from outside. Right. You had Tyler Lavin and you had Novak, and those two guys both wanted to shoot from outside. They don't realize, though, is you could have utilized your guards and you could have utilized your big man for turners if everybody bought in. I'm going to tell you what I meant by that. You have two guys who can shoot really well from out here. You got a big man in Anthony Peterson that's down low. You had the guards and the speed of you. So you know what? If you guys were able to set picks and be able to do proper plays, you guys probably could have done much better this year. You probably could have been 15-5 because I don't think you guys utilized your talent very well. Personally, that's just me as being honest about that. Your case, you are playing right now. You played this past year and have played for him in the past for a guy who's in the new era of coaching. What's the difference between a coach like an Angelo Thomas and a guy like Tom Schuschnigg? What is the difference, even though they're different sports, but what is it like with the coaching philosophies? What do you feel?
Just playing for winners. I mean, they both want to win, and they're both Greenfield guys. And I think that's something a lot of schools don't get, is just a purebred winner that wants to give back to the school they came from. And their mindset, I'd say both of them, honestly, they're old school with the way they do things. And a lot of people nowadays are all about participation trophies and including everyone. So like, we try to buy in as a team, but understand our role. And they're gonna put their best players out there, and they're gonna want to win. And Tom Schuschnigg is one of he'll always be a role model to me. He's a great man, and what he did for this program is insane. I mean, I think he's been here before the field was here. You know what I mean? He's been here a long time. So it's just having that respect and just wanting to win and being old school in the way you do things, and making kids realize, hey, this is your role, accept it. This is how the team's gonna get better, is if you accept your role and put your best foot forward at that role. So
he was my coach.
Yeah, so yeah, he's been around for a while.
So he's been around a while. And you know what else too? He takes no junk.
Oh, no.
Mullins,
no.
I'll tell you right now.
No.
Look at what Mullins does.
Yeah,
Mullins and him, they are old school. They don't take crap. Honestly, I think sometimes Gary can be a little bit too nice to the guys on the team sometimes, in Turners, but he ain't gonna pull that with the girls softball team. I'm telling you that right now. He puts the fear of God in them in a way where if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I'm not gonna play. It's not about the fear of God of being scared of the guy. It's about the fact that if you don't produce, you're not gonna play.
It's the team.
And that's the way Shu does it too.
Yep,
if you're not gonna produce,
we'll find someone who will.
You're going to find someone who will.
Until you can prove to us that you're worthy of being back in the game. And I love that. It's the way life is. That's the biggest thing, I think, is with the participation trophies, and I don't want to sound rude saying this and offend anyone, but that's not the way life is, I feel like. I mean, it's not the way life's made to be, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes, we're all created equal and all, but some people have to earn things more than others, you know what I mean? Some people work harder to achieve their goals than others do, and I think that's the way the coaching staff is. They're old school, and they're going to play their best players. They're not going to give in for political reasons or to do, family friend type stuff. It's not like that. If you're not one of the best 9 on that given day, you're not going to play.
Yep. One of 6 kids and 3 business owners. Uncle Todd, Auntie Beth, and myself. You don't get it handed to you, man.
You don't.
Go out and earn it, man.
They teach you life. That's the old school way.
Your dad, you look at your dad, and where he worked at the hospital for a lot of years doing security, and then he got the job on the railroad, and your dad's been at the same place with Argotech, and pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, he is management. He may not have a title name, but he still runs show.
He's down in Delaware right now.
That's
teaching other guys how to do it.
But that's my point, guys.
But he doesn't have the college degree.
Right,
so.
and that's my point. He don't have the college degree. I didn't have a college degree. We didn't have that. But I'll tell you what, though. What we did have was drive. We had drive.
Yeah.
And
that's the Campbell way, though.
But that's how you get better, right?
Yeah.
You need drive.
Hard work.
It's hard work.
Hard work.
And that's what you guys have done in your high school careers, too. You guys put the hard work in. And I just want to tell you both, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for giving these viewers a chance to see what really this is all about, and that it doesn't just get given to you. And, we do take a different path in life. And, you're going to run off to a 4-year to start. You're going to end up doing the 2-year starter plan and going into your 4-year. And you know what? It don't matter. It matters on where you end. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you end. And that's the most important thing. And I know that both of you guys, no matter what you guys do in your lives, you're going to be successful. And we're very fortunate to be able to have you on the show. And I just want to say thank you to both of you guys for being here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ryan Campbell, Hunter Campbell, and good old Uncle Bobby C. All right. Philippe had a chance to hang out with the CC&C Factory today. But we just want to say once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Very blessed to be able to do this special interview with 2 guys that are pretty special to my heart. And I really appreciate you guys viewing and enjoying this one. This one's going in the archives, that's for sure. And good old Philippe, what more can we ask about this guy? He's got more energy, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's phenomenal. But we also wanted to say that a big thank you goes out to everyone who supported these 2 guys in their schools. One at Turner's, one at Greenfield. We didn't get into one subject, and I promised myself that I wouldn't get into it, but I will just bring it up and we're gonna sign off. But there was an old 4th and 23 that happened on that day, and one guy was very happy at the end of the day, and one guy wasn't. And that'll wrap things up for the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report. I'm Bobby C., and I just want you to know that it was a tough one, man. That was one of the toughest tea days for one guy, and for another, the turkey tasted unbelievable, that's for sure. Thank you to the Four Leaf Clover Restaurant, also to Denny's Pantry, over at Hubie's, good old Sean Hubert, and the folks over at Hubie's Tavern and Restaurant, Avenue Way in Turner's Falls, and Lisa Albro of Albro Hearing Services, 33 Riddell Street in Greenfield. So until we meet again, have yourself a wonderful summer. Hope everything's going well, and thanks for tuning in to the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report.
Thanks for watching the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report on GCTV. Catch a game, and be sure to join us next time for more sports and fun.